and welcome to my escape. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I afford the books I do, because I have done so many book hauls recently, and I keep getting questions of how am I doing this? How am I affording this? The answer simply is use books, okay? I'm not rich. If I went and bought every single book I've put in a book haul just off the shelf in the store, I would be so poor, so far in debt, it wouldn't even be funny, okay? It's not manageable, it's not sustainable, and it's not something I'm trying to advocate for. So I just want to make it clear, okay? I get the majority of my books used. Of my recent book hauls, I would say all but maybe 4 are used books. So I hope at the end of this video I will convince you to buy used, because there is this notion in the community that used books are in terrible, god-awful condition, and frankly I disagree, and I want to absolutely obliterate that stereotype and go, no, okay, you can find incredible books for incredible prices. So this is really just the nitty and gritty of it. I like my books in near flawless condition. When I finish reading a book, I don't want to be able to tell that I've read it, okay? I like, you know, the binding to be perfect, the corners to be perfect, the edging to be perfect. And people go, okay, if I have the mindset, I can't buy used. Incorrect. Okay? Look at this. Look at Renegades. Okay, I got this used. It's flawless. I've read this now, but I got it used in flawless condition. I got the whole series down here, and they're used. Edging, perfect. Binding, perfect. Everything about it is perfect. Okay, there's no watermarks, there's no markers, there's no lines, there's nothing in the pages. Okay, perfect condition. So another big misconception about used books is that they're old. Okay, they're like 1980s mass market paperbacks, or they're classics or something like that. Incorrect. Book of Night. This was released not that long ago, and I have it in hardback. It's a book I was really interested in reading, but I would never have bought used because it's very skinny and it was $27, and I just can't afford that. But now I have it, and I'm going to read it, and it's going to be great because it's a used book. But again, so this is a hardback. Perfect condition, all your edging's fine. Third one I'm going to show you is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay, first edition paper book, great condition. I got this used, okay? You'd have to get it used because they're not in print anymore, but these are going for ridiculous amounts of money. And I paid virtually nothing for this because it was just somebody was clearing out their shelves and it was just on there. So you can find hidden gems, okay? Quality is not a hidden gem. Like, all of these are going to be in flawless condition. You could find first editions, or you could find editions that you really like, or something like that, or something you didn't even know was out there, okay? There's so much potential in the used book market. Ah, guys. Like, I wouldn't have been able to pay for this if I was looking for this copy. I wouldn't be able to afford it. I was like, no, maybe. But what they're going for now, just first editions, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. Now this is on my shelf. I really shop for used books in 3 ways. One is the internet, Kijiji, Marketplace, local book swap, local book selling websites, anything like that. The second option is garage sales, and the third option is used bookstores. I would say I'm 70% that online version, Marketplace, Kijiji, book selling, book swapping. Any of those websites I like because I know going in what I'm getting. I know if I'm going to make the drive out there, it's for a reason. If I'm going to pick these books up, it's worth the effort because I can see the condition they're in. I know what I'm getting, all of that. And I feel like there's less pressure, and you can do it anytime. So there's definitely like an accessibility and an ease to it. For garage sales, I find that they're definitely more hit or miss, and obviously very seasonal, but hit or miss in terms of, like, usually people stick with like 1 or 2 genres. So you might roll up to a garage sale and they might have no books, or if they do have books, it might not be your genre, might not be necessarily to the quality. I find often that used books at a garage sale are not to the quality that I like. But with that said, I just did a haul video where I got 33 books from my garage sale, and most of them are in flawless condition. It just really depends on whose house you're pulling up to. And then the third option being used bookstores. I put this at the bottom because I rarely buy any books from used bookstores, or like thrift stores would be in there as well. I find that of them all, those are definitely where they're the priciest. And that's understandable because you have to pay for overhead costs and rent and all the other things that comes with owning a storefront. But I just don't really tend to go there that much. With that said, however, one book I did get at a used bookstore was These Violent Delights, and it's a Fairy Loot edition. I picked up a book box edition, a Fairy Loot edition. If anybody doesn't know, Fairy Loot is like one of my favorite book boxes on the market. I don't have the budget for it, but I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I am just so happy to own a Fairy Loot without the price tag being attached. You never know what you're walking into. Online, like I got this online. I got this one at a garage sale, and then I picked this one up at a used bookstore. So I have books from all of them. It's really just in terms of how much of a surprise you want to be. Garage sale, you don't know what you're walking into. Used bookstore, you don't really know if you're going to get anything good. Online, you pretty much know what you're getting before you get there. We're really going to dig down in this video, and we're going to go through pricing. I try in my book hauls not to list price points. I just find it a little uncomfortable, tacky even. I don't think I need to say the price of everything I buy when I buy it. However, for the purpose of this video and understanding how I can afford the books I afford, because I am a student, I am trying to convince you to buy used. So we are really going to get into what did everything cost me. If you're at a used bookstore, you could be anywhere from $7 to $15 a book, depending paperback, hardcover, that sort of thing. Online, I would say 10 is pretty much standard, 10 bucks a book. Maybe 15 for hardcovers. I would almost say it's gone down, and it's about $5 a paperback and about $10 a hardback in there. However, I've had some really good deals and some really good luck. Now, to me, 10 bucks is pretty much the max I will buy. But in special cases, obviously, like, you would go further. So for these Violent Delights, okay, I bought it at a used bookstore, so again, the pricer edge of the used world, and I bought it for $11. But remember, it's a Fairy Loot. It's a special edition. I really wanted the Fairy Loot. It's a book I really wanted to read. I think it's gorgeous. It's in pretty good condition. And I say pretty good because there's this one corner up here that is just taped. And that to me has made it pretty good. Everything else about it is flawless. But Fairy Loot, there's like artwork on the inside of the cover. And that was $11. And that to me was like, should I be doing this? That's pretty much what I'm setting at. 10 bucks a book, I don't even really know if I would bite on that now, just because I've had really good luck recently. For a first edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses, I paid $5, and it's in pristine condition. Now, was I looking for a first edition? No. It just happened to fall on my page. I think my first book haul I posted, I paid like $5 for a hardback and $3 for a paperback, and I thought that was like insane, like I would never beat it. And then I posted another book haul, the one that was like Where Dreams Descend, and I got, I think, 29 books or something like that. That was $1 a book. $1 a book. And this is Canadian. So again, that's another reason I don't really like getting into prices, because I don't know where you are, I don't know what currency you're in. I'm in Canada, so these are Canadian dollars. So I was paying $1 a book for pristine, flawless condition, very like brand new books. And she really just put it out there with one picture. She was like, selling my collection, $1 a book, message me if you're interested. So in terms of that one, I really didn't know what I was going into for, but I saw a couple in the picture that I was interested in, decided if they had that, they'd probably have others I'd like, and just kind of jumped in. And then when I was here, I had all the garage sale books for the haul I just did. They were $2 a book. Hardback, paperback, condition, didn't matter. Just flat rate, $2 a book. I did kind of swap some of my books, some of the kids' books I had, some of the children's books, so that one's like a bit wonky in terms of like what it cost me per book, but in my mind, it was $2 a book, because I was going to give the children's books to the library or school anyways, so like $2 a book, $1 a book, that's how I can get 33 at a time, you know, because I walk in there and I come out with 33 books I'm going to read and I'm interested in, and like 90% of them I know what they are. Like I walk up to the shelf and I'm like, oh my god, yes. So, for example, Defend the Dawn. I got this at the garage sale. It was $2. It's a new book. It's in pristine condition. It's a hardback. It's gorgeous. I already said Book of Night. I got it at the same garage sale. Again, great condition, $2. So this is primarily why I do hauls, because when I find somebody selling their collection for a really low price, I know that I'm not going to be able to beat that price if I buy 1 or 2 books at a time. For example, my Renegade series, I paid a lot of money for. I paid $30 for the set, the box set. So that's 10 bucks a book. That's the high end. Now, I really like the author. I love the covers, and I really wanted to get into it. So that was a priority kind of for me to get. but that is pricey. That is pricey, and I also got those before I had any of the $1, $2 sales. I will go up if I really want the book, if I'm interested in it. If I've been looking for it, I will go up in price a little bit, but it also primarily depends on my mood. I'll just touch on another option briefly. I wouldn't really consider this a reasonable option because I've only ever done it once and I haven't heard of many, but recently I went to a library sale where they took donations, collections, books they had multiples of, and they just sold them. So flat rate, $2 for hardback, $1 for a paperback, and like 50 cents for a kid's book or something like that. But I didn't buy any kids' books. So again, that's when I went and I got 7, I think, from the library sale. That cost me $10 for 7 books and 10 Canadian dollars. So really, it looks like I'm spending all of this money on books. I'm not. Okay, I couldn't afford it. I'm a student, so I work full-time now because it's summer, but my number one drive is student. I have tuition, everything everyone else has, rent, food, all that sort of stuff, life. I love my physical books, and I will definitely splurge if I see someone selling their collection, but please do know that I'm not encouraging you to blow your whole paycheck on a haul, or I think that's going to make you super happy. It makes me super happy, and I hope you can see the excitement in my book hauls, but primarily makes me super happy because I'm like, what a deal. This is great because my bank account's not hurting. I'm always kind of like shocked or whatever to get it, especially on a big one. Like when I just showed up to the one lady's collection, she was like, everything's for $1, pick what you want. Or the garage sale where she's like, everything's $2, pick what you want. It's thrilling because you're not expecting it, and you're not expecting it to be that good. That also comes with used book shopping, because when I go into a real store and I walk out with like 2 books, I feel so guilty. What would make me buy what? Again, if it's a series I'm prioritizing, I'll pay 10 bucks. I don't even know if you could convince me now to spend 10 bucks on a book, but again, it depends. Quality, how new is it, how many are on the market. I also just picked up these used, so this was an online grab. Was it a book I was looking for? No, but it's a Jennifer L. Armentrout first edition signed. I love her series, and I intend to read everything about her. So again, this wasn't something I was going out to look for, so I wouldn't have paid $10 for it. But it was posted for $5, it's signed. They had the second one, so it was worth the trip. I also got a book for a coworker. So it's very situational, and it's very much like, what do you think it's worth? But I would say kind of baseline, you're looking at about 10 bucks max, $5 a paperback, a little bit more for a hardcover. You'll pay a little bit more for popular authors, or if the book's really big right now, like if you're looking for anything Colleen Hoover, you're probably paying at least 10 bucks a book. In terms of the best times to shop, aside from this year, which I've had really good luck the whole time, to me, it's the beginning of the year and the end. So I had really good luck in like January, February of last year, and then in December. I really didn't find anywhere that I was looking in between those dates that it was great. However, this year I found January again, kind of like April, May, like with the start of spring and like garage sale shopping, so when people are getting stuff out there. That, and then also online, just kind of like that spring cleaning, like people are making room. The kind of same thing with January, like people are often making room after Christmas, so they'll be getting books then, and then lots of people are trying to make money before Christmas so that they can buy Christmas presents, so then they'll sell then. I would say that those are kind of the 3 best times, but it would really depend on your market. If you're in a bigger city, you're going to have a bigger market. You might not have as big of fluxes, but it really depends on what your population size is, what your genre also is. If the price alone didn't convince you to buy used, here's my spiel, okay? Buying used is better, it's best. It's going to save your bank account. It gives you a rush because you really don't know what you're walking into, and coming out with a used book is better than a new book because there's no guilt attached. You don't feel guilty about, oh, the money should have gone to this, or oh, like, did I really need this? Like, none of that. You walk out, you're like, this is a great deal, this is a great book, and I'm so excited for it. 2, you often make friends with the people you're buying from, with the people you're selling to, with any of it. Okay, so the lady that I bought from the garage sale, we added each other on social media, we joined like a community book group together that she told me about. It was a great experience. It just builds your community, builds your network, because you're there because you're interested in the books that they have, which means that they're interested in the same books you are. You're gonna have so much in common with these people. It really does bridge the gap. It really does make it feel like a community, because often I can feel like this is an online community, and that extends it to like, these are real people, you know, they're there with you, they're energized with you. It's really a great experience, just a great way to meet like-minded people. Also, top tier on the why to buy used, it is so much better for the environment, okay? Producing books produces emissions. There's the paper and the trees that go into it, there's the inks, there's the emissions from the factories, there's the emissions from the truck, there's storage, there's loading, there's packaging, there's everything involved, okay, as there is with everything else. But if there is a book that has already gone through all this, it's already been made from this, and it went to a consumer, and that consumer was like, hey, this isn't for me, or whatever reason, I'm getting rid of it, and it goes to another consumer, i.e. me, I'm going to love that book just as that person did, and there's no extra emissions being put in. There's no extra cost being put in on the environment other than what it takes for me to get to them. And I only shop locally, so that is usually a very, very minimal distance. It is truly guilt-free. And it's a way that you don't have books just rotting on your shelves, or the library doesn't have 15 copies of the same book. There's literally no downfall to buying used. It's way better on your bank account. It's way better on the environment. It is absolutely guilt-free. It's a great way to incorporate yourself in the local community, incorporate yourself with other people who feel as strongly and passionately about the books that you do. Now, the one point people tend to argue after all of this is said and done, the one sticking point to them is, how are you then supporting the authors? And I understand this is the way authors make a living. I don't feel like my buying used has a huge effect on them, especially because I do this on YouTube and I have my Instagram. I buy used, I read it, I write a review. And that might sound like a very minimal thing, but reviews help authors so much. And I know that from a reader's perspective because I look at reviews when I'm going to see if I'm going to buy a book. How is it comparing to other people who like the same books I do? So reviews are very much a make or break for some consumers and some buyers. They are getting reviews, they're getting recommendations. I'm talking and discussing it with other people. I have 3 platforms where I talk about books, discuss books, put reviews out on books. I post reviews on Goodreads. I post reviews on Instagram. I post reviews on YouTube. If it were me, I would rather someone read it and then get other people to then purchase and read, rather than not having them take that chance because they don't have the money for it and then not accessing their tree of connections. Second thing for authors is I am not likely to walk into a store and buy a new author. I'm just not. I don't have the budget for it, and at this point I'm going into a bookstore for a reason. I'm after one book, or I'm just looking because they're so expensive, and again, you should buy used. So I'm not likely to walk into a bookstore and pick up a book by an author I don't know and buy it and take it home. However, if I find a book post or a garage sale where they have a lot of on the shelf that either I recognize or I like and I've read before, I'm way more likely to look at what else they have on their shelves and apply it to me. Because if they like what I like, it's likely I'll like what they like. And I'm way more likely to buy a $2 book and try that than a $20 book. That's the thing though, is because it only takes one book. So then I can be hooked on the author, and then I will be going out to look for special editions of the books or other books by that author or new releases from that author. I am way more likely to be waiting for that and to just go out and get it because I need to read it now. No, they won't get probably the $1.50 that they'll make from the book, but they will get reviews, recommendations, other sales, both from me and people I talk to. Okay, it's a whole network, and it all works together. So, for example, I bought this book new, and you might be asking, why are you showing us a new book on a used book video? Great question. I only bought this because I bought the first 2 used. So this is the 4th in the series, the 3rd in the series is right there. The 1st and 2nd I bought because I had seen on a book platform, but they didn't fully sell me to buy a book. It came up online. I was like, okay, it's a duology, I'll get both of them. So I read them, I reviewed them, and I got so obsessed with them that I wanted the next 2. I cannot find the next 2 anywhere used, so I bought them new. That's what I mean. I'll be more likely to walk into a store to finish the series that I started used, or to buy a new series that the authors put out, or to buy a book in an edition I really like because I freaking love these covers. And also, if you're ever like worried about that, remember, library is essentially the same thing. The author doesn't make any money from you reading a book at the library. Just saying, this is just your own personal library. being realistic, not all used books are great, but if you're looking for great used books, you will find them. So don't let the stigma that comes with used books keep you from purchasing, keeps you from participating. Don't let book hauls make you feel like you have to buy all these books all the time. Don't let me ever make you feel like you have to buy books all the time. I read through the library. I read on my e-reader. I love physical books. They're something that bring me joy. It is what it is. I'll dedicate some money to it, but I'm not dedicating hundreds and hundreds of dollars to it. I don't have that money realistically. It's an unreasonable standard to set. So I hope you appreciate the video. I hope, pray that you buy used books now. Definitely leave a comment down below. Have you bought used books before? What do you think about them? And have I convinced you? Have I convinced you to buy used books? Because I need more people to show love and appreciation to the used book community, because but anyways, I love talking about used books. I love hearing about used books. I'm a huge proponent of the whole market. So let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I post videos every Friday and sometimes on Tuesdays when I'm feeling it. Just put a mini book haul up this past Tuesday, which kind of prompted this one and all the questions I was getting on all my platforms. But I hope I convinced you. I hope I persuaded you. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!